Since my year of the fling has started, I'm going in to repaint my original Blood Bowl team, the Canberra Koalas from 1990-1991. I have to make way for the future. I hate to see them go, but time to get stripped.
That's my fault, but this is the first time I've done this. Unlike these professional painters that have this whole setup because that's what they do on YouTube because they're brilliant, I'm just a dude with a hobby. I don't have a cage in here with lights and cameras hanging off of it. I'm doing the best I can with what little equipment I've got, and as you can just see, that just turned out to be a disaster. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back. Today, I think I'm going to start painting. Last year was my first full year in Vietnam, but I brought plenty of miniatures with me, brought all my paints with me, and I got a lot of painting done. I painted my entire Underworld team, which I took to the World Cup in Spain, and then also just some random odd little figures. I actually painted a lot of star players to put in my collection. But this year, well, almost halfway through the year, 2024, and I have nothing painted. I cannot believe that it has been almost 8-9 months since I picked up a paintbrush, so I need to get back to painting. So the first thing I'm gonna work on is a Blood Bowl team. I'm gonna repaint my original Blood Bowl team from way back in 1990. Second edition books were out. We were playing a league back in my home city, and my team was the Canberra Koalas. That's how we pronounced it. I didn't know that Australians pronounced it Canberra. I didn't travel back then. The Canberra Koalas. The Canberra Koalas was a Halfling team, and their colors we used, I had Rel Partha paints. I don't know if they even still exist anymore, but I had selected one color, and I let my girlfriend at the time select the other color, and the team colors ended up being Storm Giant Green and Tentacle Pink. Those were the names on the bottles. Now, the Rel Partha paints, like I said, this was 35 years ago. So, needless to say, about 25 years ago, the Tentacle Pink was gone. It was all dried up and I just tossed it. But believe it or not, to this day, I've transferred it over to this dropper bottle. But Rel Partha Storm Giant Green is right here. I cannot believe it's still good. How come some paints last so long and others just dry up and don't last at all? How can that still be good after this many years? So now that they're stripped and ready for a fresh coat of paint, the name has changed, the colors have changed. So they are now the Sleepy Wood Titans. And for a color scheme, I decided to go with a split complementary color. And all the paints from here on out are going to be Vallejo, or in English, Vallejo, and all from the Game Color range. A lot of my bottles have this old label on it, but I recently started picking up some from the new line. So the split complementary is first and foremost based off of foul green. Complementary to that would be some kind of red, so we went to the left and to the right of red to get this reddish orange and this reddish purple. This is Warlord Purple and Hot Orange. Originally, I actually had Orange Fire picked for this, but it just is too orange. That's not gonna work. It needs to be more reddish. This was the original logo that I had done, but just switched it to the new reddish orange over here. So I gave these all a good mixing, but a lot of these older labeled ones, the new ones are perfect, but the older labeled ones are, some of them are kind of dried up. They're not perfect. So the question is, how would I highlight these? Now, to bring the Warlord Purple and the Hot Orange together with the highlights, since they're both based off of the red, this Rosy Flesh is a real light pinkish tone. I'm not sure how pink it shows up on this camera, but I think I'm going to try that for the highlights. So if I take this and mix it with the orange here, yeah. Then the same thing with the Warlord Purple, mixing the same rosy flesh into it. So the purple and the orange are pushing towards the rosy flesh together, so that'd probably be good to use for the highlight on both. The question is, what do I do with the shadows? Could go with a darker red, but maybe in this case, since they're both being used with this foul green, maybe if I just mix some of that green into both of them, it'll work. Let's find out. Not too much. I'm sure just a little bit will do on this, but now if you take this green into the purple, will it do the same thing? So I don't know. I don't know if that works. Maybe I will end up having to resort to some darker red. If I mix that green into this Warlord Purple, it makes a really, really nice purple color. But need a whole lot more orange into this green. Might be able to get it to work. Just need to see it on the model. But anyways, that's where I'm looking at. If I can't get that orange to look right, maybe I'll just start over and go to the darker red like I initially thought, but that's what's good about the first couple of models you do. I'll do 2 models here, and if something about the orange or the purple doesn't work out, then I'll just readjust before going to the rest of the team. On the Canberra koalas back in the day, the trees were named Leafroy eucalyptus and Bartholomew eucalyptus. Yes, they were brothers. But now we're going to go with Douglas fir and Scott pine. They're stripped and primed and ready to go. So come back next time. Oh, what a beautiful, he's even got a bird on his shoulder pad. Guess I might have to do a poll to see what kind of bird to paint that as. I believe he was a cardinal on the last one, so he was red and black, but maybe I'll make him a blue jay this time. I don't know. Anyways, so come back next time and we'll see what the trees look like. See you next time.